Check, 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 check. Okay, folks, welcome. Thank you very much for dropping in with us. We're going to go ahead and do our Design 300 lecture for today. So today is just kind of an overview and answer any portfolio questions you might have. But first, what I want to do is I've had some questions about, well, I don't know when things are due. I don't know when things are due. I actually don't know how to make it any more clear. I've got a calendar and it says due date and it says when things are due. And sometimes they're blank, but if you're ever worried, you look and see if there's something due. So let's take a look at this one. Due date, professionalism, due the 6th, it's due, link to the Canvas page. Remember to post at least one sheet. Here's a form. So let's see. Do this every week. So you should have by now posted some version of one of your sheets of your 1.1, 1.2, or 1.3 and gotten your stuff back. Oh, let's see. I need to do my screen sharing. Thank you. There we go. Appreciate that. And so you need to be able to have some of these in. Let's go and take a look and see how that's looking. Draft copies of your portfolios for peer review. I'm seeing those. So that's looking pretty good. It looks like you guys have done some good work back and forth. Here's Eric's with some replies. Here's another one with some replies. If you don't have one on here already, though, you're maybe not quite up with where you want to be. Okay, it looks like a lot of you do, and some of you have been posting back and forth. But be sure to follow all the directions of what's going on. So that's your due date, professionalism. Every week you do that. Okay, and then you go to this form. So you post something and you reply. That's you guys acting professionally towards your peers and your colleagues. Okay, I know I made a couple of comments in there to get things started. I expect that you will be doing that with your colleagues to help them do a more high quality job if it's not already there, or give them feedback. So you do that once a week. And then you do this little report thing here. Your name, W, and there it is. Did you post? I will be looking at your answers overall over the semester, and you should have lots of yeses. Yes, 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 yes. These are all auditable, by the way. Did you check a colleague's draft portfolio? Yes, 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 yes. So I'm going to be looking at those to see if you are keeping up on your professionalism. Yes, yes. How long did you work? So look, this unit you should spend 3 to 8 hours per week. That's what our curriculum says. I'm supposed to give you work and study materials for 3 to 8 hours a week. You're in lecture with me 2 hours a week. That leaves you 1 to 6 hours per week that you should be studying and doing portfolio work. So you just tell me where you are. Have you made a portfolio submittal yet? That is late. Hopefully I'll see lots of no's. No, 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 no. Okay, so you're going to, and there's a lot of portfolio submittals, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, right? There's 27 or 30 of these things. There's a lot. Okay, and so you're going to be keeping track for yourself about how many that you've submitted late. Are you keeping up with your work? So far, nothing has been due. And then think about the quality of the work. Okay, I know last week this was a little bit hard, but by now you should have been able to submit 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 at least to the discussion board and probably to me, and you should have a pretty good idea from the feedback of whether you're getting highly professional, nice work, nothing to do, or not very professional. There wasn't much there. Okay, so you're going to go through this every week. And so that's due. Okay, so let me come over here on the chat line. So Kate asked, should we turn them in before they're critiqued? Always turn them in even before they're critiqued. That's fine to do. I will grade for your portfolio grade the last one you turn in. I always suggest that you turn in early and often. Okay? Because it's really quick and easy to do. So, Kate, I would say early and often. So let's see what it says on the portfolio. Oh, look, on Sunday the 6th, there's a portfolio checkup that's due 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, but it says this is a checkup only and will not be graded. You will get some feedback and may even be told that it's fine as is. And please submit the single page, not your whole portfolio each time. So in 1.1, I want you to print 1.1 to a PDF and submit that. So Lena asks, do we have a discussion board for week 2? You have a discussion board, but it's not broken up by week 1, 2, 3, or anything like that. Your discussion board simply says you post your draft copies of your submittals here, and you're going to just do that every week. So I don't have them week by week by week. You just keep putting them in here. And what I'll hope that you'll do is, go read ones that are unread. So, I don't know. This thing's so weird the way this checks this. It can be, I don't really like their version of it. It's not, there it goes. Go look at ones that are unread. And then you can see ones that are there. So Lena, when you did this one, it pops up to me as unread. And next week, you're going to put it in the exact same place. This is just going to get big. Okay? The reason I do that is, for me, it's easier because then I can look at what you've done on one instead of having to go, okay, did you do week 1? Did you do week 2? Did you do week 3? It's easier for me, and I'm the boss, so of course I'm the one that counts. So hopefully that answered that one. You always put it in this one, and then you can somehow get this read, unread thing checked. There's everybody. And then hopefully you'll come and check ones that are unread. And now they don't show up because I looked at them already. Okay? So that was a good question. Thank you for that one. So there's your professionalism one. And for your portfolio, here's the links to each one. It lets you know this is checkup only. Okay, and I get it. It can get a little difficult. We're actually going to catch up in a week or two so that we're on cycle and it's not off cycle. But I hate to get everybody all tizzy-whizzed right off the bat. Okay, so let's see what it looks like the following week. There's professionalism again. And, oh, look. On the 13th, when you put 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 in, it says it will be graded. So it could be that you put it in here and I send you a message back that says, man, this is really good. I can't see anything you might want to change. Then you do not need to do another submittal. Okay? But you may wish to. You may wish to go back and go, you know, I know Prof. Schuster didn't, but he's looking at 35 of these things, and I've been watching what people are doing. I'm going to go back and change a little something, make it a little bit better. You can do that. Okay, so that's your strong due date for 1.1 and 1.2. It's the 13th. But I'm telling you, if you want to be up with the class and on progress and on target, you'll be in these submittals right now. And I know some people have, because I've looked at them and I've graded them. Okay, so you're still in check function. The reason I like to have you guys go to the professionalism one is it really gives you an idea of the big, broad range of what people are putting in. And it also lets you see styles that you might like and methods that you might like, and might even read something you go, ah, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Okay? Okay, so Mauricio asks, if I did mine on PowerPoint, how can I make a copy and post it to the discussion? Print it as a PDF. Just print that page as a PDF and post the PDF to the discussion. Does that work for you, Mauricio? That makes sense? Okay. Yes, so Shivani would like to see me do 1.2.1 again. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and see how that one's supposed to work. Okay, that's a good question. So here we go. What we're into right now is answer portfolio questions. There we go. So 1.2.1. Here's the study material, 1.1.2. 1.2.1. There we go. Site work drawing. Okay, so you're going to make the idea behind this is that you learn and understand that one of the ways that we communicate information from the designer to the person who's doing the work, the contractor, is through drawings. We use specifications, we use drawings, we use meetings, we use lots of different ways. Drawings are one of the ways. And just like anything, they're rarely right the first time. And not only that, sometimes they're right the first time, but something comes up that makes you change things. So this is to give you the idea that we can make changes. Now, when I do this in a face-to-face class, we actually all open up Revit and we physically make the changes. Whoa, no way. We're not doing that this semester. So what I've decided this semester is that you're just going to see an example of a change drawing, a note, a markup, and you'll create your own markup. And I don't care how you do it, okay? I'm going to show it to you in DWF, but you could do it using the PDF in Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. You could even use Paint. You could use a program called Jamboard if you want to do it on your phone. And as a matter of fact, people do. They import PDFs to Jamboard on their phone and do it right there on the job site. The technology you use to me is meaningless so long as you post a little example into your portfolio. Okay, so let me look at your portfolio really quick so that I can pull, well, I'll just get it over here. There's your portfolio template, right? So this is what Shivani is talking about. And this is what I'm saying. Working drawings often require InVision. DWF is kind of cool. If you do something besides DWF, just change DWF to whatever you used. But I'm going to show you why DWF is kind of neat. And then you're just going to pop a version of it in right here. So I'll download my DWF. Here I go, DWF to change. And that's sort of a clear DWF. That is file to fix. And then this is what I want to mark up. I want to make it look like that. I'm checking my audio here really quick. It looks like it's working this time. Okay, so let me come over here and I'm going to go to something called Dwf X Viewer. And it's an Autodesk product, but you can do this online thing. So here we go. Try a free online viewer. It makes you log in. So if you don't have an Autodesk account, you won't be able to use this, but you can get an Autodesk account. Maybe. Come on, little Autodesk account. Here it comes. And I can sign in. And then I'll go ahead and upload a new file because that's what it asked me to. It takes a little while, and I just drag that right up. So it's a pretty quick and easy way to do things. This program was used as an industry standard for years and years and years. Autodesk has actually replaced it with a couple of others that are even more functional and cross-platform and easy to use. But I still like this because it's at the most basic level and you don't see too much. It's not too confusing. So here I am. I'm in DWF. And it's kind of cool. Okay? And I can look at things. I can read things. The main thing I want to do is called Markup. So I want to do a markup. And once I click Markup, a whole new set of stuff comes up at the bottom. Okay, and I can go back and figure out what my markups were supposed to be, but I'm just going to do stuff and let you figure it out. Okay, so one thing I can do is put a cloud around something. So that's something and I can change the color of things. And that's really important because a lot of large companies use different color codes on markups to say brand new markup. Here's a markup that's been fixed but not approved. Here's a markup that's been fixed and approved. And here's a markup that's been fixed, approved, and integrated into the final design set. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with that. You can draw arrows, and I can never remember which way it goes. And I can draw little lines around things. I can add text. One of the things we talked about last time is I can change the size and color of my text, but only as an entire block. So I can't do it to just half of it. It does it to the whole thing. Okay, and I can only make it small, medium, and large. Okay, so that hopefully gives you a few ideas on how you can do this work. Oh, if I want to move it, I sometimes move it inside. Now, yours doesn't have to. Eric had a really good question a few days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. He goes, I can't get mine to look like yours. I don't care. That's not the idea on this. The idea is that you are able to create a markup. Now, how do you save this thing? I can save the markup here in the cloud, and it's really cool because I've got my original one, and I can make comments in a stream. This is like having a discussion board about this. Okay, or I can go back and I can make, I think I can do copies and make interesting things about this too. And look, I can even send this to somebody. Isn't that cool? If I want to say something about it, I can. So this is like a discussion board created specifically for this drawing. And if you look at the DWF program that you can download, it's far more complex than this and much more deeply integrated with the building construction planning process. But you guys will hear me say this sometimes. SOS. Start out simple. All right? And so that's what we're doing here. Shivani, did that give you enough to go on? Okay. Oh, and then you just make a snip of this. Sorry. You make a snip of this and put it into your portfolio. I'm not sure if there's a way to download. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out of that one unless there's any more questions on that one. That was an excellent question because a lot of people will be thinking about that. So again, today is about answering portfolio questions. What do you guys think on the Proctor test? Are you okay with that one? You are fine. You are perfectly okay to cut and paste this out of some source so long as you have read it and make sure that I can clearly identify the answer to these questions. Now, some people write, the Proctor test is done by a contractor, a technician, a this or a that. It's done prior to the start of the contract site work, and it's done on site and in the lab. And the test is done by, so some people do that. Some people leave it like this, and they put a little tab in here. That gets pretty full, but you can do that. I've seen that done very successfully. Now, one question that we had on Tuesday was about if I copy this work, how do I note that? So you can either put a link right in here, okay, or somewhere put an attribution where you got it from. But I gave you a section down at the very bottom down here, okay, way over here. And you could say that's 1.3.1, and you could write link to source 1, and you could, and that doesn't need to be, and you could literally, you could just put your link right there or type in where it was. You could even just say Wikipedia Proctor test. Okay? This is where you'll just make sure that somebody knows, and nobody's going to go check. But what they are going to do is check and see if you understand the ethics of copyright and the ethics of using somebody else's work, which means you may only do so if you're assimilating it into a larger work. And if that larger work is for education, it becomes even more obvious. And if you're making sure that if they expect to get money for using their work, they get money. Those are the three things you need to know about copyright and using somebody else's work. Okay, first of all, if you're assimilating it, accretion is what they call it. Okay, where you're putting many, many, many things together to make one larger body of work that holds together. So this whole template is one body of work that is doing that. Now, if you took every link from the exact same source all the way through this template, you would be violating copyright because you would be using little pieces, parts, but you wouldn't really be assembling a lot of different things into one new whole. Okay? So you're going to take little things from lots of places, so you're allowed to take those little things. Okay? Also, you're probably using a little portion of their main work. So that's another thing that counts. Another thing that counts is most of the places where you're getting stuff from are not being monetized. If they are, Lena's got a good question I'll answer in just a moment, Lena. So I see your question. So if it's monetized, then you actually really should give them money. Right? It's their intellectual property. They've done work. They've been the person to do it. And if they expect money, they deserve money. So you should be sure that you monetize if somebody wants monetization. Okay? So those, oh, and then of course this is for an educational product. And so that's the third. So you should be able to hit 3 out of 3. The worst case then is you might get a takedown request. Okay, so Lena asks, some assignments may use many webs and the room may not be enough to put in, to put all the resources. So Lena, are you talking about down here where the attributions are, or up in the actual part where you're writing stuff? Okay, where I am now. Okay, good. Okay, so there's actually quite a bit of room here, and and let's go take a look really quick up, up to here. There's only, let's say we're on this one. Man, there's only so much you can fit in this little box, right? And it's got to be readable. So if you've got everything cranked down to number 8 point size to get it down, you're probably going to want to summarize it a little bit more, or get rid of some of the long linking phrases and things like that. Okay, but let's say I've got 5 sources that I've used here. Let's say I've got 5 sources, one for this, one for this, 2 for this, one for this, and one for this. Maybe I've got 5 different sources, and I have written it very clearly. Then right here, I think there's only a 1.3.1. And I'll get rid of these. Okay, and let me just go say, that's my, let me pretend that that's my source. Not a very good source there, is it, Lena? Okay, then all I do is I go, I don't have to really be super tied together with this. I'm just going to say, there's that one. Okay, this is not a peer review type of product that's going to be used in research later on, where people have to backtrack very succinctly and very clearly. My goal is that you make sure, I wonder where they got the stuff for 1.3.1. Oh, here they are. And I'll just click on those links and got it. Understood. I know where to go to get that information. Okay? I'm actually not going to check you for plagiarism or copyright violations and things like that. What I'd like to do is see in a glance, what you've got going on here. Okay? Does that help make it more clear, Lena? Okay, cool. I always have to check, because I'm an engineer, and engineers, like, we think a certain way, and we talk a certain way, and sometimes I've got a great Gary Larson, where there's a guy talking to the dog, and he's saying all this cool stuff. Good boy, I love the and all the dog hears is bark, 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 right? So I need to make sure that you guys actually, that I actually answer your question. Okay, are there any other questions at this point? I'll go back to the home. Remember, everything is based on this right here. I have made this as simple as possible. What question should you be asking now? I've just made a statement and you want to check it. I've made this as simple as possible. Your question should be, for who? Okay? Always look around the corner when somebody's, oh yeah, it's simple as possible. For who? You will find in industry, it's always for the boss. Or in this case, in education, the teacher. I actually think that it's easy for you because you only have one thing to learn, how to use the calendar. And I will be putting links in everywhere. They're not in everywhere, right? Look, that one's not done yet. Once I see how you guys do and get you guys caught up and on cycle of what I call on cycle, I'll be able to just go through and do these. But I always at the beginning of a semester, especially one like this where I'm not positive everybody has the technology to do what I'm asking to do, I go a little slow and easy. So you'll find that this one is a checkup only week, and that next week it's actually due. Okay? And I'll probably add on to here a suggestion for your checkup for what we do next week. Okay, but you'll see that. So everything is due, everything hopefully is all right here. Cool. Any other questions about the portfolio? Because that's what today is about. Let me show you one other thing then. Look, this is 2.1.1, 2.1.2 next week, 2.2, 2.3, and a question day. 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and a question day. And then that's how far I got. But do you see how that's going to work? It's always going to sort of be in the same thing. Why do you think I didn't go on and put 4.1 and 4.2 in there? Anybody got a good idea? So Nicholas has a good question. I'll answer it in just a minute. Anybody know why I didn't put 4 in here yet? That's one of the places where I drop a unit out if I find that we're moving slower than our normal pace that we can do. And I'm expecting that something will happen this semester to make things go slower. So I haven't filled it out past here yet. Okay, so Nicholas asks a question. Do we submit the module section for the assignment, or just on the discussion board, or both? So let's take a look here. Let's see what's due here again. For your portfolio, let's see where it says to submit this. It says submit your portfolio. Okay, I see where that is. I see where that is. See where that is. So that's very definitely they go into the portfolio. Let's see about here. Post at least one sheet to the discussion board. So for your professionalism, you're going to work with your colleagues. For your grade, you're going to work with me. So this is where you'll interact with your peers, peer review with your colleagues. So the answer is both. So that was an excellent question because, like, it's kind of weird, right? I'm doing it once, but I'm submitting it twice. So this one is in support of your professionalism, working together, collaborating to get your product to be the best that it can be. And in this class, you're allowed to help each other by giving feedback. Of course, you don't get to go and type on each other's templates, but you know, here's one cool way I've seen it done. Let's say, Nicholas, you see Lena's submittal. You go, man, that was really good. And then you see Shivani's submittal, and you go, man, I like both of those. I like them both. You could say, hey, Shivani and Lena, will you look at each other's and kind of comment back and forth? I'm trying to decide which one of yours I want to pattern mine off of. Okay? Or you might go, okay, I like Mauricio's. That's really cool. And you see Lena's and you go, Lena's is really hard for me to read. You could leave a note that says, okay, Lena, nice work. Everything's there. I see it and it's good. You might look at Mauricio's and see if you like it. So you see how this becomes a forum for you to go back and forth and to look at things. This is where you guys get to talk. And this is how it happens in the office if you work in a really collaborated, well integrated office. And I've had the fortune to work in an office like that. And I won't say the misfortune, but the experience of working in an office that's not like that. I much preferred working in an office where we were all kind of like moving and grooving and working together. Okay, that was an excellent question. Any more excellent questions like that? You guys have all asked great questions. Any more questions from over on the Discord side? By the way, for those of you who, I just got Discord downloaded to my phone, and it works really well. The quality of the screen shares is phenomenal. I was actually working it yesterday with my judo instructor, and he was showing us something, and one of my partners that, of course, I'm socially distanced from, they live in El Dorado, wanted to show me something, so we popped onto Discord, and he showed me what was up there. So that was kind of cool. Okay. Cool, yeah, so good. Lena just made the point that the board discussions do give you good ideas. And it gives me good ideas too. If you look at my portfolio template from 5 or 6 years ago, you'll see that now I've incorporated all these cool things that students have done. Oh, I like that. I'm going to make everybody do that next semester. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to make everybody do like the color coding. Right? Somebody color coded there so they could quickly and easily just flash through there and find the segment they wanted. Okay? So the color coding was something that was done by a different student. The way I've done the links in the very back, that was done by a student that sort of gave me a really, I really like that. That was such a cool, easy, formal way to do it. So I'll be taking your good ideas too, and then next semester, you might see your ideas incorporated into the template too. Okay. So cool. I'll go back to the home and the calendar then. If you get all this done and it's all looking good, please pre-study the new material for Tuesday. There's some just kind of cool and interesting stuff. And I'll tell you, foundations in concrete are such a huge, huge topic that we're going to touch on just such a tiny little portion of it that I'm always in a quandary of how much to throw at you. So if you guys really look like you're getting it and you know it and you're seeing things, we can really talk about concrete far, far, far more. I can show you some cool. Oh, you know what I need to do? I'm going to do this right now. Wrong one. Okay, you guys definitely want to see the Tacoma Narrows Bridge collapse. I was actually, I Googled it and showed it to my kids while we were driving over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. And of course, they were really torqued at me for that because when you see it, you'll find out why. It is one of the coolest concrete failures you will ever see. Okay? Okay, any other questions? Or then I'm going to log off. Okay, well, excellent work. Hopefully, you keep on enjoying this, and we'll be with you starting on Tuesday.